Real gigs, the art, philosophy and practice of assessing in the context of a genuine music industry workplace setting. Overview, qualifications and employment in the music industry. For a large percentage of employment within the music industry, qualifications can be brushed aside in favour of abilities and experience. Add to this a strong culture of networking and even nepotism, and you have the makings for a difficult industry to infiltrate at ground level. Historically, much employment within the music industry has been the result of being in the right place at the right time, networking and volunteering. Our real gig assessments give students an insight into the processes that underpin gaining employment in this industry.
Yeah, our tasks give the students confidence. It gives them the skills to be noticed when they go out there in the real world, and we give them the courage to step up and take on challenges.
I really think it's an industry where if you to roll up with it with your certificate 3, 4 or diploma and say, hi, I'd like a job, I think that those days are long gone now. It really is a case of networking, what you say.
Music and sound production teaching staff. Mass production teachers are all currently and constantly working both in the performance and production aspects of the music industry. This industry currency is a big point of difference among our delivery team and other delivery teams. The fact that none of our teaching team are full-time allows us to spend time working in other aspects of the music industry. Having this diversification of roles allows the teachers to bring real industry experience back to the learning environment and to share with the students. We believe this is a key factor in providing our students with skills and knowledge relevant to current industry trends.
I really think, Bill, this is a case of people that walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah, you're out there as a musician plus as a sound engineer. I'm out there doing stage management and production work on festivals. I bring back pictures and talk about what I've seen there, the developments I see in the industry with artists. You know, because in Tasmania we have so many different festivals covering all these different genres. So we feed that back into the students, and then also we're out there and we can spot industry guests to bring in.
I think it's good too, like you say, being at that ground level, we can see what's actually happening then and there. We don't have to wait for a textbook or to read on a forum or wherever it may be. You're actually there seeing it, and most importantly, rubbing shoulders with, you know, industry professionals.
Yeah, and that could be local professionals, or national, or in some cases even international.
Gives a good set of standards, and
Exactly.
also to see where we are coming back to the classroom, how we can take these international standards, if you will, back into our classrooms and assessments.
Events mass production staff have worked at in 2016 include Festivali, Taste of Tasmania, Dark Mofo, Party in the Paddock, Junction Arts Festival, Forth Valley Blues Festival, many corporate gigs, Buddy the Musical, Dusty the Musical, and
Queenstown Unconformity Festival, 10 Days on the Island, Falls Festival, Signet Folk Festival. They're the ones I work on.
The University Foundation's audio performances and exams.
so definitely a list of some of the premier events in Tasmania. Industry guest sessions. As well as the industry currency of our teaching staff, we also have regular industry guest sessions which involve visits by specialists working in a particular aspect of the industry, further connecting students to the real world of working in the music industry. Our industry guests all participate on a voluntary basis, which reinforces the concept of making contacts and engaging with others in the industry as a means to successfully gaining employment.
Yeah, they're aspirational people. They're inspiring. They're musicians. They're sound people. We've had guest talkers from APRA, the copyright and publishing people.
Yep. I think it's really good sometimes, obviously a fresh perspective, but also to reinforce some of the key things that we're learning and that what we're doing. Sometimes students having that ability to hear people that are doing it every day, hear from them, hopefully inspires them a little bit, and majority of the time actually reinforces what we teach here in our classes.
Real gigs, the process. All aspects of the assessments are set out in observation checklists and are matched to the performance criteria listed in the specific units. Students are made aware of these requirements prior to the performances. However, these requirements are definitely not the driving motivation during the assessment sessions. Assessors do not carry clipboards and checklists. This allows students to become fully engaged in the task at hand, and usually they forget they are even part of an assessment process. Rather, they are contributing to the success or failure of an event or performance. Audio and video recording of the performances allows assessors to review individuals' performances in relation to the assessment requirements at a later date. Feedback and debrief sessions are conducted after each session.
Yeah, we can monitor their progress through the year from gig to gig and talk to them about what's working, what's not working, what they need to improve on, one-to-one.
I really like the fact that we don't carry clipboards and kind of stand back in some type of formal adjudication or assessing role. It's really, at times, we're actually in there as well, helping to make sure that the event happens. And I think that kind of, that type of learning is more leading based learning versus direct instruction and kind of mimicking. It's very much, we're in the trenches as well, which I think.
Repetition leads to confidence. One of the biggest issues, especially among adult performers, is nerves. One of the best ways to diminish the effects of nerves is to perform regularly. Performance sessions throughout the year are structured in a way that allows students to develop confidence by sequencing gigs from easy, low-pressure lunchtime performances on campus through to larger public performances at music venues such as Club 54. This gives students an opportunity to develop the necessary confidence and allow them to perform to their capabilities without the detrimental effect of nerves impacting on the assessment process.
Yeah, we cover that in class, how to deal with nerves and anxiety, relaxation techniques, visualizing techniques, self-checking, making sure they've got everything prepared. Like everything in life, it's all about preparation.
I think one thing that really helps here is I kind of remind them, especially the performers and the techies as well, that they're all on the same team. There's no real times where you're by yourself. Even if you're performing, you have other people on your team. Yeah. And I think going in like that really obviously reinforces what happens out there, but just takes the edge off, so to speak.
Goal setting, performance goals and deadlines. Many musicians, and people in general, find it hard to get motivated without having a goal to work towards. Having an event to work towards is a great motivator, and it is easy to see an increased level of commitment among the students leading up to these events. It's common for students to come early, stay late, and even attend on their days off. Setting performance goals and deadlines creates a need to practice and improve skills. Musical and technical students are engaged in events constantly throughout the year, with a rotating schedule of participants drawn from both streams.
Yeah, this morning I was with the students working on their career plans. Where are they in 10 years, 20 years? What I do is I get them to start at 5 years, which is a bit more realistic for the students, and I get them to put it in the present tense. I am mixing bands at festivals in Tasmania. I am performing at festivals in Tasmania. Yeah. And to me the key is preparation, goal setting, but preparing. It's just like if you've got a gig tomorrow night, what do you need to rehearse? You need to get your repertoire together, make sure your gear's working. It's just preparation. It's just on a bigger scale.
Kind of plan for the worst, hope for the best type things. And yeah, I definitely agree, and especially having it as small goals as well. Going back before on the smaller gigs at the barbecues that eventually, or the local campus gigs that eventually build up. So it's all part of this, like I say, small goals to eventually get the final goal, which is the skill set and hopefully work.
Steps along the way.
Progression. For musicians, watching others perform and performing in front of others can be a double-edged sword in relation to boosting or impacting on confidence. It can be very nerve-wracking performing in front of other more competent musicians, or conversely, if the other musicians are not as skilled, this can boost performers' egos. Having a very broad range of abilities and talents on display helps performers realise they do not need to be the best musician to be able to perform and entertain. Having Certificate 3, Certificate 4 and Diploma students in each stream allows us to develop the concept of management and leadership roles. Events are managed by diploma students and they provide the musical leadership in ensembles. Certificate students provide support as delegated to them, giving them the opportunity to learn skills and knowledge from peers and also function in a team environment.
that's one thing that we've been pushing a lot with our diploma students recently, taking those more management, almost mentorship type roles, because it obviously helps boost their confidence, but it also imparts some of their knowledge. And because they have already gone through the process, maybe of the certificate 3 or 4 before, I found that to be a very, like I say, helpful experience. Plus, like I just said, it reinforces what they already know, and I think that's something that is good.
The magic for me is watching the relationships develop between musicians themselves within the band and how they help each other out as the months unfold, and then on the relationships they develop with the sound crew and who they're going to pick for certain projects. It's just amazing to watch that happen. I love it.
It's good to see. I guess the potential downside of that, though, sometimes students are quite often, don't worry, student A, we'll go to him or her all the time.
Well, that's our job, isn't it, to manage that. Some students don't get all the work and others are underused, so we make sure that the work is spread around and everyone gets an opportunity.
Being seen. Performances at the TasTAFE Allenvale campus are in many cases the first steps in building a career in the music industry. Compliments and encouragements they receive through performing at these events can inspire and motivate. Students' talents and abilities are often recognised by teachers in other departments within TasTAFE, who utilise the students' performances and technical skills at events such as graduation ceremonies, fashion parades, Drysdale events, fundraising drives and other community events. When students participate at these type of events, it is often more independent, so less supervision, more independent and self-directed, giving students more opportunities to take responsibility and ownership of the performances and build accessible skills.
Exactly, they're testing their skills out in the big wide world.
And still in that kind of supported environment. That's where there's not, say, a paying customer.
Yep. We steer them towards certain projects we know that they're going to be well matched to, or we give them again the courage to take on something that might be a little bit out of their comfort zone.
And I think this also gives back as well, saying with Drysdale events, fashion parades, etc. It's something that I know other departments are very happy and grateful for, and at the same time we have some other disciplines, streams, qualifications that in turn help us. So it really reinforces the one TAFE, one team ethos.
We're part of the big TAFE family.
Diversification. During the recent past, we've had students from Bhutan, Nepal, Africa, the Netherlands, South America and Asia. And when you add to this students with special needs, we quickly develop a diverse range of musical genres and influences. These influences have provided an insight into other musical cultures for local musicians and audiences who have responded very favourably to music that branches out from the typical pub rock genre. This has also given the multicultural students the confidence to perform at other venues and community events. This has also allowed TasTAFE to establish links to the community and to develop a presence at these events, which has led to performance opportunities for our students at other community events such as Harmony Day.
Well, it's a very Tasmanian thing, isn't it, being part of the community? Because it's a smaller population here, we brush up against people from all different backgrounds, and it's just magic to be a part of that.
And I think it's good, along with diversification, having students, some that are straight out of the high school or college system, or even those that may have even been retired, they bring a certain life experience, which I think kind of enriches the learning experience for the students.
Making contact. During assessment performances, we encourage our students to perform and interact with musicians and technical practitioners from the industry. As some of our students also perform in professional groups outside of the courses, we have invited them to bring these groups and share the performance events. These performances give other students the opportunity to see, perform alongside, and network with other professional musicians and crew members. This is often a genuine first step in building a network of music industry contacts and connections. Building these networks is a key step to building sustainable employment in the local industry. Exposure to music consumers, other musicians and audiences becomes a valuable component in the assessment process.
Yes, life works for those that turn up. Get out there, talk to people, be curious, be a part of it.
I guess a pro/con of being Tasmanian, being part of this community here is it doesn't take really that long to, like I say, meet most of the people, most of the heavyweights, if you will. and start working or getting along with them, but at the same time also ruining a reputation and getting called as unreliable. So it's something that we really stress here in our classes, and those students that really take what we say on board have really good results from that.
Yeah, and with networking they can get mentoring as well. The contacts they make.
Employers, venue operators. Music and technical students engage with venue operators on multiple levels, gaining professional contacts that may lead to ongoing work. Students participate on all levels of the staging and performance process of the events: booking, promoting, technical specifications, setup, performance, clean up, bump out. Venue operators not only get to see and hear the musicians perform, but also to observe technical students running the sound production aspect. This whole process is incredibly important as a means of gaining employment in the local music industry. Not only musicians, but also technical students have gained regular employment through recognition of skills demonstrated at these assessment events.
I guess we couldn't really ask for a better platform or stage for students to show their worth. And going back on what we said before, this really isn't an industry where a qualification or experience will lead you the job. This is that chance to really get that on the work experience.
Be noticed.
Yeah, be noticed, be seen, yeah.
Slide 14, employment. Who do you know? Music industry. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Good example of this is the band I'm in called the Bad Dad Orchestra, which is comprised of a group of musicians who have much performing and touring experience, and hence many contacts in the local industry. So rather than work our way up through the hierarchy of performance opportunities, the band has skipped most of the preliminary levels of performances, and our first gigs have been at some of the state's premier events, such as Party in the Paddock, Esk Beer Festival, Falls Festival, Festivali, Taste of Tasmania, and others.
Congratulations, Carl.
Well done.
Maybe there's some of our students you can get involved, either supporting with playing instruments or possibly doing some sound gigs for you.
Well, we actually recorded a demo here, Bill, and we had students working on that demo.
Fantastic. And I've heard that demo, it's superb.
And in fact, there's one of our students recording us right now as we speak. In relation to that, there's sort of a hierarchy of local gigs. So down at the bottom level is jam sessions where you can rock up with your instrument and play. Obviously, you don't get paid. There's open mic nights, community events where most of the performances are non-paid. Then we get into our paid gigs such as multi-band nights, pub gigs, corporate events, and then the festivals. So where our students are coming in is around the third or fourth level of that performance hierarchy. Slide 16, self-directed and peer learning. Technical production students tend to take ownership of the equipment and set up procedures during these types of performance assessment events. Planning and logistics at the outside events are key to successful execution of the technical aspects. Planning and logistics at the outside events are key to successful execution of the technical aspects. The need to prepare inventory lists and equipment becomes crucial. It is very difficult to simulate technical pressures and issues that arise in real-life situations, so these genuine events are invaluable in providing challenges. Familiarity with venues and the wide variety of equipment used in these venues allows students to develop a broader knowledge of equipment which they are able to pass on to other students.
Yep, as I always say to the students, a big part of your role, particularly technical, is problem solving. And dealing with, you can plan, prepare, but a lot of it is problem solving.
Well, one of the, along with these community events and things that we have here, one of the assessments that the sound production students have to do is what I call a live setup simulation event, where basically there's a technical brief or a requirement and then a strict timeline, a strict deadline, and other qualifications would probably run something quite similar, but I guess having the students work out in public under pressure situations is good, but this assessment gives them that experience before it's for real.
Hands-on,
yeah.
And it's apparent every venue you go to has a different set of equipment and a different way of doing things. So the more venues students go to and work at, the more experience obviously they gain. The integration of ancillary and associated learning such as workplace health and safety and copyright implications associated with live performance is integrated into assessment performances. Students are taught to be serious about workplace health and safety, not just with venues and manual handling and safe use of equipment, but also they learn procedures for looking after themselves with regard to posture, correct playing technique, taking breaks, and mental health. Students also learn about using copyright responsibly and as an income tool for their creativity.
Yes, we want them safe on the job, and we want them to be rested and refreshed, ready for the next gig the next day, and also understand that they're part of the big wide community with copyright and their responsibilities there. And plus, if they are composers, they can make very good income if they know how to use those tools.
It's interesting, the cliches of, oh, it's just rock and roll, man. And I guess it is one of those industries that is a little bit the party life. I think it's something that people have become more and more aware, or just those that are good at it or clever know that you need to look after these things now.
The industry is far more professional than it has been in the past 10, 20 years. Definitely, which is great.
So hopefully what you can tell from listening to our presentation today, what we offer here in music and sound production is the experience of students at Certificate 3, 4 and Diploma to have real life hands-on learning in the venues with professionals, with teachers that are out there living it, doing it and making incomes from it. I think one thing that we're all proud of here is that we all bring something different from the table, whether it be live performance, technicalities or technical side, the music business side approach, the financial aspects of
The business side of it.
Of the industry.
And just the thrill I get of watching these raw young things coming at the start of the year and who they grow into at the end of the year. And what you think they're going to be good at, and they completely surprise you and do something entirely different. Plus the relationships that grow between them all.
Well, one thing that I always get asked is what are the likelihoods of jobs or employment out of this? And generally I tend to be quite blunt with students, and I'll say, look, of the 30 of you standing here, 3 of you will get jobs. I said, and that sometimes is a little bit of a reality, at least for the sound production students, because I say that the 3 people that get the jobs are the people that go the extra mile, that take any volunteering, that stay back later, that really have that genuine passion. And a lot could be said about that for the musicians as well, those that take every opportunity to perform, to collaborate with other players, to get out there, get their name.
Yeah. Be prepared to do anything to get work. Because a lot of our sound guys are musicians, a lot of our musicians are also sound guys. You might see them with different hats on at different nights of the week. We love that.
Okay, thanks guys.
No worries.
Thank you.